Okay, guys, welcome back for another episode of the Equestrian Adult Amateur.
We're here. We are wonderfully excited.
Excited.
I know, it's a new word. We have an awesome guest today.
Yes, Miss Michelle is here with us. We're so excited to have you. I have been following your journey. You know, Alexis is getting better about sharing her life online because she's friends with me.
I'm starting.
Yes, she's doing so good.
One video a day.
Yeah, and so I have been following your journey for so long, and I'm just so excited to get you on the show and to hear, you know, all the ins and outs of the journey that you've had, of that behind the scenes and what's been going on. So go ahead and just tell everyone who you are.
For sure. Thank you for having me. I feel like this has been in the works for a really long time.
I know, it has.
But yes, my name's Michelle. I am 32. I started riding horses and sharing my journey last year. And I'm just here for a good time. And I'm so happy to be here.
I know. And we're happy to have you.
I'm so excited.
I know. And Michelle said we literally we did when was that? We did a Zoom call like a while ago, and she thought we were going to do a podcast episode, and I looked like a foot, and she looked beautiful, and I was like, oh,
she was
gosh,
ready, and you weren't. Oh,
and I was like, oh my God, I'm such a jerk. I'm so sorry about that. So, yeah.
But as soon as we started talking about doing this, I think it was in July.
I know.
Oh my God.
Burn out there.
It's been like half a year.
I know. Hot minute.
Poor thing.
Hot minute. Okay. So, Michelle.
I'm so excited.
You are the epitome of equestrian adult amateur, and you rode as a young person, and then we're all still young, guys. Okay,
yeah, we are.
We're all still young.
30s are prime time.
Yeah, 30s are golden. So talk to us about how you got back into riding and what that experience looked like, and even just like the emotional side of even thinking about doing it, and then what was the kind of the push to actually make it happen.
So I touched on this before on my platforms, but I started riding when I was really young. I think I was like 5 when I started, but my parents enrolled me in Western lessons. We had a vacation house in Pennsylvania, so every weekend we would go there and I would take a Western lesson. But then the barn that I was riding at had a fire, and like the whole barn burned down. It was really insane. And then like my parents got busy with work. My freaking dad enrolled me in karate, and that took over my life. Karate and sports.
Oh my gosh.
So just kind of like life kind of just happened, and I always wanted to go back. And I was talking with my husband, then fiancé, for years about getting back into riding. Like I've loved horses my entire life. So I think it was September of 2024, he surprised me with a trail ride, because I had spoken about going back and I didn't know where to start. I called barns. Nobody would answer my calls. Like they were impossible to get in touch with. So it was just something I always spoke about and never really got to do. So he ended up finding this trail ride, and that kind of put my foot in the door, because I'm like, all right, I have an in now to, you know, riding horses. So I would go back to this place with the trail maybe like once or twice a month, and then I was like, okay, this isn't enough. I need to like bite the bullet and find a barn that will teach me like full-on lessons. And I would call again. A lot of the barns in New York are really hard to get in touch with, so I ended up lucking out, and I found a barn that made it really easy to schedule lessons online. So that kind of just set the tone until now.
Wow.
And fully obsessed, and there's no way out now.
Yeah,
you've got the disease.
Yeah, you're in it. You are in it.
There's no backing down.
Yeah, no backing down. And so that's such an important part of this conversation, because I think logistically and where you are, you're in New York, and I know that as I said, I watch your videos and just talking about, and we'll get into this. I don't want to like put the cart before the horse, so to speak, but just talking about where you are and how different it is of what the horse world is like there versus here. So we're in Georgia. I think that is just absolutely insane. So, so now you are, you're riding, you're in English. You're doing the hunters. And that's really,
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still just learning to canter. I'm not jumping.
Yes, girl. Well, yeah, I've seen you go over like I've seen you go over some cavalettis and some X's and
I've
stuff.
gone over a cavalier and I've trotted over a cross rail.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love this.
Yes.
I love this.
Yes.
I'm a jumper.
Yeah.
What's been the scariest part of starting? Like in your riding? Have you had like a scary moment where you're like, oh my God, like I'm in my 30s and like that was a little scary?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to sound so dumb, but I've never been intimidated by kids before. Going into a barn as an adult and then having these little kids like that are so good and they're so like they're business, like they're on business, like they don't mess around. So coming into the horse world and going to a lesson barn, I've been intimidated by children. But that's like a funny scare.
Yeah.
But other fears, I guess more serious. I mean, I've fallen twice.
Mm-hmm.
First time wasn't that bad, but the second time I was like, oh shit, like I actually really hurt myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that was scary, but we're better, we're healed, we're riding again.
I love that.
Yeah.
And
got to get back on.
Yeah. And I remember, you and I had talked about your fall, prior to, because I am still in my, still in my boot, and I am not riding, and I won't be riding for another couple weeks, but talk to me about, what that was like for you, and do you have any anxieties like going into like getting back into riding and being well enough to ride again? Did you come back a little hesitant? What was that like for you?
Yeah, so my second time falling, that was my more serious fall. I fell on my knees. I tore my ACL in one knee with like a partial meniscus tear, and then in my other knee, I fractured my tibial plateau.
Oh my God!
So that was a lot to take in. Like I called, like the doctors were telling me about needing screws and plates in my knee. I'm like, just like, no, this can't be happening. Like I have too many things going on. Like I can't be held back. So that fall, it was like, oh shit, like again, I really hurt myself and I need to be more careful. But I just couldn't wait to get back on.
Yeah.
I had no hesitation of getting back on. I was just like, I need to get back to riding. So I did everything I can. I did physical therapy, I did acupuncture, I opted to not have surgery, and I've been doing really well, knock on wood. But I think a lot of people, it's normal to have a fear to get back on. I didn't really have that. It might sound weird. I was just so excited to get back on. I think when I got back on the horse that I fell off of, there was a little bit of weariness. I was like, oh God, what if something happens again? But then after that, I was fine. I don't even think that day anymore. Because I try to find a learning lesson in everything. Both falls have taught me so much, and I'm hopeful that me learning what I did will prevent future accidents.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so talk to us about what your riding experience, because I already know the answer to this, but
yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I know.
What the heck?
So talk to us about I know that you ride at 2 different barns, and that has kind of been a topic of conversation on the internet for a variety of reasons. So kind of just talk through like a week or a couple weeks of you riding and what that looks like.
So I'm in New York. And New York traffic is tough. It's rough out here. So I'm on Long Island. It's not far from where I am on Long Island. Isn't far from Manhattan, and I'm kind of like in the middle of like the city life, and then like out east, where it's more suburban. There's more farms and barns. So during the week, I have a barn that is closer to where I live. So during the week when the traffic is really bad, I'm able to get a lesson or two in after work. I can be at the barn in a half hour. But then on the weekends when I have a little bit more time, I have barns that I travel like an hour out east to go to. And it's like each barn has a different feel. And that's why I love the switch up of being in different environments. So a lot of it has to do with commuting. That's why I tend to go different routes.
Yeah.
Has there been backlash about it?
I mean, not backlash. I think just conversation around it, right?
Yeah, I would say it's been backlash. I think I get a lot of questions about it. I don't know. I guess it's unusual for some people because I don't know. I don't know what the norm is. I never found it odd, but I think people want to know if I get conflicting perceptions or conflicting information from trainer to trainer. So if one trainer teaches me one way, another trainer teaches me another way, I think people are interested in that point.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, like, and I think you can relate to this, that I
Yeah.
think that trainers, it's really probably more surprising that the trainers are so cool with it, because I think the trainers can be a little territorial, or they can be a little bit possessive of, not in a negative way, just in a way that they want to make sure
Ownership, basically.
yeah, they want to make sure that their training is staying consistent. And if they don't want to unteach things or reteach things and things like that. But I don't,
That makes sense to me, because I think my case is different, maybe because I'm not going the show route.
Yeah.
I think it would make sense if I was planning to show and be in all of these competitions. I think, a trainer has every right to want me to stay with their teaching method. But for me, I guess I have more leeway. I don't have these big hopes and dreams to show and compete.
No, for sure. I think that's great. So when you started sharing your journey, how was that? Like, how do you feel like the community supported you and lifted you up? Do you feel like they supported you? Do you feel like that was a good experience for you?
So I started social media in 2016. I started in the beauty and fashion space. I did that for many years, and then after a while, I just found it to be really superficial, and it didn't really have much meaning to me anymore. And once I got back into writing, I would post pictures here and there. I'm like, you know what? Like, this is really awesome, and just it absorbed my whole world, and it wasn't even a second thought for me to start sharing it. I think my first video, I shared like my riding outfit, or whatever outfit I was wearing to my lesson, and I got a lot of positive feedback, and I'm still blown away by the amount of like encouragement that I get. I get so many like sweet messages every day. I swear some of these messages make me cry because of how like thoughtful, and people are actually taking their time out of their day to like message me. If it's about them booking their first lesson or them getting back into riding after a really long time, like, it's just been so supportive, and I feel like I have so many friends that I haven't even met in real life.
Yeah.
But it's been a really cool experience.
I think that's amazing. And I think that it's, the rise, it's the year of the horse.
Oh, yeah.
The year of the horse
26.
And horse girl aesthetic and culture is like really on the rise. So I think we've been seeing a lot of women, girls, boys, whatever, come back and get into riding. And it's amazing.
I like that you're sharing it, and that, I don't know how much you've seen of like other equestrian kind of content, but a lot of it is, these top riders that are at the very highest high level, and they're posting, pictures of them like riding these giant horses over these giant jumps, and they're beautiful, and they're imported from Europe, and they're in Wellington. And it's so refreshing to see somebody who's just like, hey, I'm going to keep it real. Like, I'm a beginner and I'm starting again. Like, this is new for me, and this is my journey. And to know that like that's out there, and kind of can encourage people to join the sport and not feel like, oh, it's unattainable, seeing, all the other things on social media. And that's been one of the things I've loved about your content.
Yeah. And I think too, like, there's so much conversation right now around the sport being unattainable. And I think that you can probably speak to both sides of that, right? Because, we as, people, in media, we have a podcast, we have a lot of content that we produce, and we have other friends in the same field. And it's so much about building awareness and building support and building this community. And, it's interesting because there is so much talk of this sport being unattainable, but then you have people like you and other people that follow your account or in your community and in your space. And I'm like, is that like a real thing? Like, is it real that people that are trying to find lesson barns and that are trying to get into the sport after, taking a break for a long time, are you finding it unattainable? So what do you think about that?
I mean, I think that if I did have a goal to be a competitor in the sport and I really wanted to show and be a part of that culture, I think my answer might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I'm just, again, like, I'm just happy to be here. And I was just happy to find a barn that was taking beginner lessons because they were hard to get in touch with. And it was kind of word of mouth. I found my initial barn that was easy to book lessons online. And then when that barn didn't work out anymore, I had a friend who like suggested another barn. So a lot of it was also word of mouth. But at least where I am, there are a lot of people taking lessons and there are a lot of new people starting too. I've even witnessed it at my own barns. There are a lot of adults coming back into it, which
That's
is like
awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know. I love that. Do you have aspirations to have your own horse one day? Are you loving the lesson life and the non-commitment commitment?
Oh boy. So my life dream, like if you were to ask me at any point throughout my life what my dream life would be, my answer would be to have my own horse. That's definitely a goal of mine and one day it's going to happen.
Good.
But now that I have my foot in the door and I start to, come to terms with reality and I start to hear how much things cost and blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of information to process, but I'm motivated. I'm motivated to own one day. I am planning to lease in the spring, like a half lease.
Good.
So I think that will be like a really cool way to get my foot in the door. And we'll see. But definitely in the future. Definitely in the future, I will have my own horse.
I love that. So speaking of that, kind of transitioning into how do you balance work, life, and your riding and financially supporting your riding thus far?
This question is so funny because I joke around all the time with my friends. Like I have a really close friend that I ride with every week and we kind of just, share our horse girl stuff. And I joke all the time. Like I feel like I'm living in two universes, like one universe with like my job and my friends and whatever. And then I have my horse universe where it's like all we talk about is riding and riding clothes. And that's like the only thing I want to focus on. So the way I wouldn't say I have like a good balance. Like I wouldn't even call it a balance because everything is just about like horses. I work my big girl job to fund my horse addiction.
Yes.
And yeah, that's kind of how I balance it.
It sounds like you're balancing it well though. You're able, just you saying that you have a barn that's close by that you get to ride during the week and then you have one that's a little further out, like you're balancing that beautifully. Cause I know, it is like, I've never been to New York, but I'm sure the winters are crazy. And so it gets dark early, especially here. And it's just like balancing, okay, I work and my barn is 30 minutes away and, 30 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, but when there's traffic, it's just, sometimes it can seem unattainable. And so it's hard to balance like having to work and fit in your riding. And we were talking about that earlier, like as an adult, how much can you really commit to your riding if you have a big girl job that affords you to do it? And so it sounds like you're balanced in that sense really well.
Yeah, I think just taking lessons right now make it easier for me to balance. But again, like as the reality sets in of horse ownership, that's a concern. Would I be able to get out to the barn every day to ride, with traffic?
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because we were just talking about this and, adult amateurs always get like a bad rap because there's like a big spectrum of us that, we, either are like really, really competitive and like are out there grinding and like doing all the things. And then you have someone in the middle that's like, lessons a couple times and whatnot. And then you have the one that's like, doesn't really ride that much, but, is still
horse obsessed,
still in the horse world and whatnot. So there's like such a wide spectrum. And I think it's so cool, like to see your dedication to riding. And, I was just saying that my horses are literally like 25 yards outside of my house. And, sometimes I'm like, I don't know, it's like kind of windy and like it's a little like cloudy. I don't know if I like want to ride. And then here's Michelle like
in the snow
in New York, like trekking her ass, like, she's going. And I'm like, you know what the fuck is wrong with me?
I just think we take it for granted.
take it
Like,
for granted.
Your life is somebody else's dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it for granted.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a video that Michelle posted. She's posted a couple about, you know, she has one dirty martini and she's in the bathroom crying how much she wants a horse.
Oh,
And
boy.
I just love that. Like, it's so great, and it just shows, like, you know, you can't fake that shit.
It's
you
just
know,
pure
like,
joy.
it's like
True
it's
joy.
so real, and like you just like your dedication and longing to do it is just so awesome, and I feel that.
Tell you that story though, because that story. Is
Yes,
so
let's hear it.
Oh my God, yes.
I wasn't expecting that video to get the traction that it did. I was like, okay, this is because it was just the most random video. I was out to dinner for my mom's birthday and again had 2 dirty martinis, and then I'm hysterically crying at the dinner table in front of my entire family, hyperventilating about how I want a horse and how my grandfather would be so proud of me because he owns 2 racehorses back in the day. I'm sobbing at the table. I was like, all right, I need to remove myself because I'm making a scene. So I went to the bathroom and I'm just like sobbing on the toilet. Like I wasn't going to the bathroom, but I was just sitting on the toilet sobbing. I don't know what came over me, but then I was like, I was drunk. So I'm like, let me just make a TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
Story.
It was
How the best content is
amazing.
made.
It was
Yeah.
amazing. And I was like, oh my God, yes, girl. Like, I feel this to like my core. And it just showed your love and your passion for it. And I was like, oh my God, this is just so good.
amazing.
And, you know, just throughout your whole journey, like, I've just really, really enjoyed just like how you have incorporated like so much of who you are. Cause, you know, you see that like beauty and fashion side of you and like bringing it into the equestrian space. And, you know, it's just like, and I know that people get like real riled up about that sometimes when they're like, I can't believe she dresses so nice for the barn and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh my
Who
God.
cares?
Like, literally, like, who cares, you know? I mean, and
Let people be who they are.
and honestly, like, the better you look, I believe the better you ride.
Yeah,
So,
honestly.
you know, I just think it's so interesting. So talk to us about, like, your experience about being online. Like, has your experience been mostly positive? I know you were just saying that you get, like, really sweet messages. But overall, do you feel like, you know, and if you do get haters or,
Yeah,
you know,
have you had any haters? I'm curious.
I think 95% of the feedback I've gotten has been really great and helpful and sweet. But then it's the internet, so I feel like there's always like a troll that will pop up here and there.
Yeah.
And I hate I get some negative feedback on how I present myself at the barn. Like, I think some of the first hate comments I would get was like, I never see anybody look that clean to go ride a horse, or it must be nice to just show up and ride. But I'm like, little do they know, I would happily shovel shit for free. Like,
Yeah.
people let me be around horses. And it's just always been me to present myself in a presentable manner. You know, it's my form of self-respect, and it's my way of like boosting my own confidence. So in terms of how I handle the negative comments, I don't know. I think it depends on how bad it is. Like, if it's just something that's really ridiculous, I'll just block and delete. Like,
yeah.
like you will never see me arguing with anybody on the internet. Like,
Yeah.
I will never do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
what you'll never see me do. I might like do a sarcastic reply every now and then, but I'll never go back.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I totally
That's
get
the best
that.
way to do it.
Yeah. So talking about like again this sport being unattainable, or like, you know, how the different locations like vastly make a difference. Like, I know you made a video talking about how much board is, and that was like,
oh yeah,
insane. I couldn't
Is it
believe
different?
that.
Is
So
it a lot different in New York?
yeah, so talk to us about that.
So it's so area specific, because I got so many comments on that video talking about board, and prices range from like $4,500 a month, and then other people were only paying like $700 a month.
Right.
So I guess it really depends on the area you live in, what amenities your horse is getting. But yeah, I mean, where I am on the Long Island area, like I think 13 to like 3,000 up. 1,300 to 3,000 and up is like normal.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Especially when you tack on lessons, and then you have shoes and then
vet.
and all that stuff. is insane. It's crazy.
I think we forget that, like, we're just so lucky to just be around these animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I think sometimes we just get bogged down by, like, oh, what's the next lesson I can get to, and what's the next thing I can learn, and what's the next competition I can get to, or whatever your goals are. You're kind of like telescoping, and you're not seeing, like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm doing this, and like you said, like, there are people out there that are dying for a horse and are, you know,
Right.
crying after a martini because they want a horse. And it's just like, we're so lucky. Like, even you getting to take lessons and being around horses is like, I mean, that's something a lot of people can't
Yeah.
even fathom.
Right. No, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just being in their presence that mean everything to me. Like I say it all the time. Like I would rather just not ride and just like hang out in their paddock, like, or in their stall. Like that's what it's all about for me. It's not necessarily like having an expectation for my riding or, you know, a specific goal. It's just being with them.
I love that. That's amazing. Okay, so talk to us about the horses you ride. Let's get
Who's your favorite?
Who's your favorite? Who do you love? I mean, let's not play favorites, but
no.
Who do you love?
It's hard with the favorites because I love each one for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
So right now I'm riding, I want to say, it's hard. So Arthur, I don't know if you're familiar with Arthur, the captioner that I ride. I haven't seen him in a really long time because it's just so cold.
Yeah.
And I haven't been there since the fall. He's such a fun horse to ride, and he's such a cool horse. He's like a dude in horse form.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
He's such a goofy guy, and he's so much fun, and he's so pretty, and he's so cool. His owners, actually, his owner and my trainer, they introduced me to the fox hunting world. And all this cool stuff. He's like galloping in the woods and galloping in these open fields, and it's just like, oh my God, he's so cool.
So cool.
So I've done a lot of trail work with him, and that's my favorite thing ever to do. Like, just put me on a trail ride. I will happily just walk on a trail, and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Riding in the woods, riding on the trails is my favorite. So I think that for that reason, Arthur is just like
the bomb.
Totally the bomb.com.
Well, and he seems like you've kind of built the best like you've ridden him for a while.
I've been riding. He's the one horse I've ridden the most consistent.
Yeah.
Since I started, I've been riding him over a year. I can't wait to see him again. Yes. And then my other favorite lesson horse is Whiskey. I've been posting him a lot lately. Like the most magnificent lesson horse. He has like an old wise soul kind of energy to him, and he intimidates me a little bit. Like I'm definitely a little nervous around him because he's very
Is that
sensitive.
The warm blood?
He's a warm blood, yeah. So it kind of just forces me to be extra in tune to him and to just listen to him as much as I can, because he'll let me know when he doesn't like something. So he just forces me to be really grounded with him. And he's just really special. And then Sweetie is also another lesson horse that I ride. She's an appendix mare, and she's just like the ultimate girl's girl. She's such a cool horse. She's so fun. She's so sassy. And she's very affectionate. She's probably the most affectionate horse I've ever met in my life.
Wow.
You could cuddle with her.
Aww.
She's like a chestnut mare. She's a chestnut mare, but the opposite of
a chestnut mare.
Yeah, the opposite of the stereotype.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't remember this personally in my own riding journey. How was learning how to post?
You know, posting was the one thing I remembered from my childhood lessons. And I remember I didn't have a good feeling about it either. I was like, oh shit, we have to do that again.
Yeah, it's so posting.
About it, yeah.
Posting in diagonals, like those are things that people remember. Like I remember the day I got it. I remember how hard it was to get it. Tell us your story on posting in diagonals.
Oh my God, I pretended to know what a diagonal was for at least 2 months. My trainer was like, did you learn diagonals, last lesson? Or I'm just like, yeah. Like, did you learn? I pretended. It didn't click. And then one day it just did.
That's usually what people say. Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
It's like you don't remember the how.
Yeah, because when they explained it, I think the term is just also confusing. Like, why is it called a diagonal?
Yeah,
that's true.
right,
That's true.
right. Yeah,
I feel like it should be called something else.
I
don't know, but
agree.
it's been a while.
I completely agree. And so how about, like you said, you're learning to canter.
Oh, scary.
Picking up the right lead is pain in the ass for me.
No,
Yeah.
I just think cantering is like, trotting is just different. And then cantering, it's like your hands and your legs and everything has to be like in tune with that motion. Otherwise, you're off.
Well, it also depends on how comfortable the horse is.
Yeah, that's true.
Arthur looks really comfy.
Yes. The horse makes all the difference because there are some horses that will make me look like I've never ridden before and they're just so hard. And then there will be another horse that I ride and it's like, oh, this is so comfortable. And like I'm not everywhere.
I know.
Do you remember the first time you cantered? Were you on a lunge line or did you like go like free?
I was not on a lunge line. It was my first lesson barn. I was riding a really, really, really like seasoned lesson horse. He was so slow and so safe. And my trainer like let me have a go at it. And his canter was kind of just like a really fast walk. Like it wasn't even,
A trainer.
Yeah.
So it was just a nice way for me to get my foot in the door. I feel like you have to learn on like a really safe, slow horse.
Yeah. No,
First introduced to that.
I agree. So kind of switching topics and switching conversations, how do you feel like the community as a whole, like what would you like to see? Because I feel like the horse world is big. I mean, it's a big space. And
it's big and small.
It's big and small at the same time.
Yeah.
And so how would you like to see the community like improve or change? And what do you think is good the way that it is?
It's a really good question. As you said, I feel like the horse world is so big and there are so many moving parts to it. It's like if you're in the show world, that's its own part in the English discipline. And then you have like the Western world and that's like its whole little universe. There are just so many moving parts to it. I definitely feel like the fancy like show world is very niche. It's very gate kept almost.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I really don't know how I don't know. I just feel like there's so many.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's approachable or unapproachable?
I think that in the show world, I personally get the feeling of like an outsider looking in, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody knows what they're doing. I feel like it could also be very judgmental. Again, I know very little about the show. Very little knowledge. I'm just going based off of like how it has made me feel.
Yeah. No, and I think that's good to know because we talk about this all the time. And, I think everybody's like in a different space in their horse like career and their horse journey. And so I think it's good to kind of just hear like other people's perspectives. And it's interesting because I wish everybody would kind of like embrace that, like, and stay in their own lane a little bit more. I feel like sometimes, like, at least for us, like, we've had so many people that are comment on like, because we document so much of the show world and the top of the top and whatnot. People are just like really judgy. And I think it's like unfortunate sometimes that like, and that's again, like why I was so inspired to do Inside the In-Gate is to show kind of like that it's not what you think it is all the time. Like there are like so many people that are just normal. They make mistakes. They do, different things. And so, but I think just like in any sport, if you are a tennis player and you look at the people playing in, the
top level.
Yeah. Is it the French Open?
Yeah.
Or like Wimbledon or something?
Yeah.
You're going to be like, wow, that is like next level. Right. So I think that's just only like, human nature. And so, yeah, it's definitely interesting to hear different people's perspectives on, how they feel. But I think at the end of the day, you've done such a great job of embracing your journey. And I just love it so much. And now you're getting into the Western world, which is like, yeah.
I can't wait. I've had a Western lesson canceled twice because it's been like literally 5 degrees here.
Yeah.
No.
I have my whole outfit ready.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like the Western world is a little bit more laid back and
100%.
chill.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
feeling, and I'm kind of excited about that.
Mhm.
Just more go with the flow. Less, not that I personally feel pressure, but
Yeah.
from, I think a lot of people do feel pressure in the
Yeah.
English competition world.
I agree.
But I'm excited.
That's going to be so fun.
We should do that.
Yeah.
I know nothing about the Western world. I would probably make a fool of myself.
Yeah.
But I think like you're doing it. Like we should do it.
Yeah.
We
Let's
should
do
do it.
Let's do
I
it.
totally should. That's like a whole nother outfit. That's a whole other
Yeah,
new
saddle.
Yep.
pack.
Yep.
So different.
Absolutely.
You have a Western saddle.
I have two.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, me and my friends, we joke, like, we need a Western advisor. Like, what boots are good?
Yeah.
Do we wear a helmet? Do we not wear? I mean, I'm always going to wear a helmet. But,
Yeah.
like, I know
Yeah.
Western riders don't wear helmets. I'm like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's wild. It's wild. And
so
okay, so looking into this year, looking into 2026, what are you excited about? What are you looking forward to? What are you like? I mean, obviously, like you said, you're going on the Western journey, but do you have anything else like in the wings?
yes. Well, number one, I just can't wait for it to be nice out.
I
Yeah.
know.
Grass and to just, like, be outside with not a million layers on.
Yes.
But I mentioned before, I am planning to half lease my first horse in the spring.
So exciting.
I'm excited to just like show up at the barn, hang out all day, like read a book in the horse's stall. Like those are the moments I just cannot wait for.
Yes. That is
True horse girl dreams.
true horse
You're
girl
living them.
dreams for sure. I love that so much. Well, Michelle, I appreciate you coming on with us today. It was so fun. Long overdue.
Long overdue. And I'm going to follow every minute of your journey.
I know.
Just be ready for some
wait.
comments of encouragement. And honestly, like, please post definitely some Western stuff. Because you know
Yeah.
what? 2026 is a year I'm going to do something different.
I love that. I love that.
We're going to do something different.
You're inspiring us.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys. It's the best.
Absolutely.
That Western lesson because I can't wait to see that.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
We'll document it for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I'm going to do it. We're going to do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's our
How do you
2026 goal.
say it? Wanglish?
Wanglish.
Wanglish.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't even
Heck
know what
yeah.
pants to wear. You're right. Like, I don't know what to wear, but
Yeah.
you have inspired us. And I hope for all the viewers that watch our show and anyone who's like following your content has just know that we encourage you to just try something new.
Yeah,
And
do something different. Push yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, I think as an adult, it's so important to have a hobby. Like, it keeps your mind healthy, your body healthy.
100%.
Like, hobbies are necessary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely agree. That is our message. If you don't take anything out of this episode, take that.
Go find your hobby and make
Yeah.
sure it's horse related.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
Make sure it's sports related.
Yes.
Yes. All right, Michelle. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll talk soon.
So fun.